Ashin, and here we are on your live interview for your book, Modern Soul of Eternal Path.
Yeah,
So, first of all, big congratulations on your release of the book, and the cover is very beautiful. So, I want to thank you for writing such an amazing book.
thank you for taking your time and supporting me everywhere I needed. So it's been a pleasure working with the publishing house. The cover indeed is very beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am. So, my first question is, as a child, what do you wanted to become?
While we growing up, I think in our generation, there were only two things you could be, either a doctor or an engineer. There was no other thing. So I was good in studies, I was good in mathematics, so I became an engineer. That's it.
Okay. So engineer it is. So what's your favorite part of being a writer?
Uh, I think the favorite part of being a writer is indulge into your creativity. You can just create a whole world out of your imagination. The stories, the experiences, everything we had, we can conclude in a word that we are creating. So that is the best part.
That's I want to know if you have ever heard from your readers and what are their thoughts about your book.
Uh, it's not been so long that book is released.
Yes.
So, but the initial thoughts I am getting from the readers, friends, family is that they are enthralled. The book is very inspiring, very different from the day-to-day books we read. So the response is really encouraging, and I feel truly blessed about that.
So as you mentioned your family and friends, so I want to know what they have their feeling when they know that you are writing a book and it's now published.
Everybody was proud. They still are, because obviously it's not it's not writing a story or a poem that you can finish in a day. Writing a book takes a lot of dedication and discipline. So I think that I have made them proud, and I'll keep doing that.
Yes. So I want to know your writing space. How what is your space where you write? Can you explain it?
Yeah. So the thing is that I have two kids at my home. So physically, I won't this I can't describe the space, but mentally I would say when they are at school, and so quite any quiet place where I can see the sky and the natural light. I write there.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So beautiful to imagine your writing place. And I want to know when do you realize that you want to be an author after doing your engineering or before that?
No, no. Uh, while I was working, I was in software industry. I never thought of this thing that I would. It was never an ambition, but once I think during the COVID times, when we had lots of time to introspect and to go through our hobbies, then I realized that I can write. So I started with small blogs, few poems in Hindi, in English. So it was taken very well by the readers. So then, a step ahead, I thought that, okay, if I can do this, then I can write a book also. And then, almost a year ago, I thought that I should start. I was not sure that I would be able to complete it, or how the flow will go, how disciplined will I be. But by the grace of Almighty, everything went well, and I was able to finish the book.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, I want to know when you are writing, what kind of that typical day it becomes. Does everyone cooperate in your family?
Yes, I choose the time when everyone is not around, so I can just be myself and not think about them, just think about myself and the story.
It's Must be amazing, quite. And I'm thinking only about my book.
Yes, when everybody's in school and office, so it's like, okay, now I can do whatever I want. It's not like that when they are home, I cannot do my stuff. But the thing is, while writing, you need a calm mind and no noise. So that was the perfect time when they were busy with their work.
So, writing leads to a lot of frustrations, as we all know. So, I want to know, how do you relax from that frustration?
Uh, I think writing was not frustration for me. Not writing was frustration.
Okay.
So sometimes it happened when I was not able to write. Uh, any reason, that times I was very frustrated because I was kind of very disciplined in my writing, that I have to take 2 to 3 hours daily. But for some reason, if I was not able to do that, then I get frustrated. So I think frustration is a good thing. It keeps you going.
That's so right. So, I want to know, what is your favorite book and why?
I think my favorite, many books, I can think about them right now, but I think the Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, that is the ultimate book if anybody wants to read philosophy, transformation, and the storytelling behind that is magical.
Yes, and your favorite author?
Uh, my favorite author, I guess, it would be Sri Narendra Kohli ji. Uh,
Okay.
yes, I'm an avid reader of mythology. So, Mahasamar from him, I can just cannot describe the phenomenal writing. Rewriting Mahabharat with a different perspective and uh, without interfering the main agenda and lessons from it, it still is phenomenal book.
Yes, ma'am. That's just
That's way
incredible.
apart. You cannot compare any other author with the kind of work Kohli ji has done with Mahasamar.
Yes. So, any book you are currently reading?
I am rereading that Mahasamar. Whenever I am into that void zone that I don't know what should I read, I just pick any of his title, Mahasamar, in any order. I just um, I just start reading it, and I uh, feel very good about that.
Okay. So, I want to know, according to you, what makes a good story?
Uh, I think the best stories are which are genuine, honest, and relatable.
Yes, ma'am.
Any reader who's reading the thing and it comes over to his or her mind, oh, that can be me, that could have happened to me, or maybe imagining some other person while reading that story. Those stories, the relatable stories, are the best kind of stories.
Yes. So, I want to know, what is the something while writing you must have learned something surprising. So, I want to know what that thing is.
Okay, so as I mentioned that there were few days when I was not able to write.
Yes, ma'am.
So during those days, while I used to sleep, I had horrible nightmares. So I couldn't even sleep due to the nightmares I was having. So the kind of surprise I got was that I felt that some energies are pushing me to write, and it is my subconscious mind which is putting me into guilt of not writing, and then scaring me in my thoughts that, okay, you have to write, otherwise, we will scare you in your dreams.
So, I can say your dream inspired you to write.
Yes, exactly. They scared me and then inspired me to write.
Okay. So, I want to know if you are planning to write another book, and what it will be about if you are planning.
I have not started thinking about planning or any thing what will be coming next. I think I have been very unpredictable with my choices. So I'll just look around for inspiration, and meanwhile I will do whatever this book needs more from me. Then maybe I can just think about the next step.
So you like mythology. So I want to know, why do you love mythology so much?
um I think eventually it is what is mythology? It is not that something that may or may not have happened. It is the best of the stories of that time.
Yes, ma'am.
So best of the stories by best of the people.
Yes, ma'am.
So it again opens a different perspective of the world we can't see now. So 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, how the world was like, how the people used to live, what was the society norms at that time, who they used to worship, who were the bestest of people around. So all these things inspire me, a curiosity.
Okay, ma'am. So I want to know, what was the inspiration of your life? Any real life instance that inspired you to write?
Uh, yes, if you talk about this book, yes, there was a moment when I was inspired to think. The questions came. So I think the best thing about writing is we should write what we think. The questions should be right. What we ask ourselves, then we answer ourselves, and then we put them into the words. So it was like once we have lost someone in our family, and I was attending the cremation. So during the body which was burning and the pyre, so it was like in a flash I thought that what is life, what is the meaning of life, what happens after life, why this vicious cycle is always there and will always be there. So the questions I asked, then I introspected, I read some books. So that moment inspired me.
I'm so sorry, ma'am, for your loss.
No,
But
everybody have their share of losses. So
yes,
I think it's about cherishing now, then feeling sorry for the
yes.
losses.
So
Yeah.
who is the author who mostly inspired you work?
I think there won't be a single author that inspired me. I read a lot of things before writing this book, before coming to the answers that my self asked me. It was the questions about life and everything. So I read Shiv Sutras, Bhagavad Gita. I went into some reading about Buddhism and many kind of writings, some known authors, some unknown authors, some articles, anonymous articles, internet. So there are many, numerous influencers.
When I like Bhagavad Gita, I read it every
Uh,
day.
yeah, that I think that is the best thing anyone can read.
Yes, it's absolutely the best.
Yeah.
And let's talk about writer's block. Have you ever had a writer's block?
Yes. It. I think it happens with everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Uh, how do you handle that writer's block?
I think we should be easy with ourselves.
Yes,
Not even in this situation, but with any situation. Sometimes it happens, we do stuff but we don't get the result, then we get disheartened, we scold ourselves, we feel guilty, but that should not be the case.
yes,
We always give a benefit of doubt to others, so we should treat ourselves the same way. So whenever I had that feeling that I'm not able to write, I just went slow. I did some other things. I went for a walk. I enjoyed nature, and I just waited for the right inspiration to come to me. Rather, searching for them.
Okay, that's very inspiring, ma'am. And I want to know the book characters. Has they been inspired by any real people?
Uh, Not exactly real people, but yes, you can say that the main protagonist of the book, that is Ishant Joshi, the questions the questions he has in his mind while starting on his journey are the same questions that I had. So, so to an extent, the starting of the spiritual journey, I can say that okay, I can relate to him, but then later on,
Please completely fiction.
yeah, it's completely changed.
Okay, so I want to know while writing, what kind of question you ask yourself? What kind of question well in your mind?
Uh, so the questions were, it's not easy to explain the questions, but yes, it was more of a philosophical journey. The actual meaning of life, our identities, our connect with the universe, how we see God, how the spirits are, and how this world is interconnected. So I used to think about those things, and then I get all the inspirations in ancient writings.
So how do you create a main character? Because creating a main character requires a lot of effort. So how did you create that main character?
I think when I tried, uh, things happened by itself. So it took a while because it's like I have never written fiction. I had written some blogs, but it's more of a lecture or essay kind of thing when you write philosophical aspects. But writing of fiction, when you have to install characters and everything, that's a completely different game. I was scared because I thought that it is my weak point. I wrote the blueprint of the characters first, and then once I was done with the book, I again went back to the starting. And I now I had a little bit more experience of writing, and lyrical fluency was there. So I then recrafted the characters and plot. So it was like reiterating the stuff I did, and I did that in a sequence until I was satisfied.
Okay, ma'am. So how long did it take you to write the book?
It took me almost a year, the whole year.
It's a
Yes.
big challenge. Writing a book is really a big challenge.
Yes. It is a big thing. It takes time, but the thing is, if you enjoy writing, then it's only a day that matters. Only today matters. If you're doing your work today, then year will pass by. So
Yes.
it
So
will, yeah. If we focus on the small tasks, the bigger task will be accomplished on itself.
so like you mentioned tears. So I want to know if there was any kind of criticism while writing your novel and how do you handle it?
Uh, I think criticism is a good thing. It challenges you. If somebody says that okay, you cannot do this, so then you may think that okay, one thing is that okay, let me try my better version. So you try your better, but sometimes it is like that you cannot satisfy everyone. Everyone cannot like everything.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you are, yeah, so if you are satisfied with your work and you know that you have put your best foot forward, then okay. You don't like it, you can read anything else. You can read, there are so many authors, so it's okay.
Yes. So how did you did the research for your book?
Uh, I think it's not a days or months research. It was like whatever I was reading. it can be anything. It can be a book, or it can be a post on Facebook, or it can be a post, a forwarded message on WhatsApp. So there are some times when you just grab something. Okay, now I like it. Let me hold it. Let me change myself according to this thing. So it's a process.
Yes.
So, and that happened naturally. Whatever I used to read for, I guess, last 10 years, it's transformation books, it's spiritual books, it's mythological books. So I think that was an indirect preparation that helped me directly.
Yes. I can see your sister has messaged us that she's really supportive of your work in the comment section.
Okay. So nice.
So it's a great thing that family supports in all these
Yes,
things. That's really
the
appreciated.
the best thing about the family is that they support unconditionally. Whether you are able to finish it or not finish it, whether you succeed, whether you fail, for family and friends, nothing changes. So, this is the best part about them.
So, ma'am, have you given yourself any kind of deadline before completing a book? I have to complete this book at this date. That kind of.
Yes, sometimes we tend to become lenient in any day-to-day habit. So, if
Yes.
anyone can relate to this, on a Saturday or a Sunday, we all are guilty of watching Netflix more than what we should do. So deadlines are important. I gave myself deadlines, but it was like a leniency, because creativity cannot be uh, confined in deadlines. So yes, I did that, but it went well.
So, I have one question. How did you get the name of the character? How did you imagine his name?
Um, I think I was looking for a name which relates to Shivji. So
Yes.
yeah, so Ishant is another name of Shivji. So it was easy for me to make that choice. I always seek blessings. I always seek his blessings. So I think I didn't choose the name. The name came to me.
Okay, that's very nice. So, ma'am, I want to know, while writing, have you ever thought about what would be readers' perspectives?
I think yes. The thing is that sometimes when we write in the flow, we do not understand whether a person who is reading that kind of fiction for the first time, would he relate to that. So many a times when we have to describe something complex, uh, we usually write in these kinds of books can be quite boring, because they can take a form of a essay, and then a reader may think that okay, enough of lectures.
Huh,
so
that happens sometimes.
so the challenge was to uh, to write that wisdom in that story form. And whenever the situation was a little tough, I took help of the stories, the ancient stories. So I think the stories are the best medium to express ourselves.
Okay. Ma'am, how did you develop the plot of your book?
uh, I think I would again say that it's very difficult. There is no formula for that. That okay, I will write an algorithm. If it could have been, then I would have completed in 1 month. Because I can write algorithms. So so it was like I started, then I thought about just 2 steps ahead. Not when I started, I didn't know that what will happen in the end. So it was like the story taking its own form.
Okay. So, ma'am, do you, while writing, do you set word amounts or pages that I will write up to this today, setting that
Uh,
standard for you?
I think I was more time bound. I thought that I had to, even if it's not coming to my mind and I'm not able to write, but I have to sit there, think about that, and maybe if I can write or scribble anything, any idea, I used to give myself 2 to 3 hours daily.
Okay, ma'am, that's amazing. Being consistent on your work is one of the things I have learned from it is amazing.
Yes, in every field, whatever field you choose, there are two things. Like you said, being consistent, honesty, and
Yes, ma'am.
maybe third thing, the discipline you add to it.
So I'm seeing too much book in your site. So I want to know, are you a big reader?
Whatever time I get, I like to spend on reading. So
That's so great.
it is my comfort zone, you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book is really a comfort zone for many of us.
Yeah, it's exactly, it's not just a book. It's a completely different world that you can indulge into. And so many things to learn, so many things. It's a magical thing.
So while we are talking about criticism, I was thinking about, have you ever gotten any kind of bad reviews, and what were your opinion at that time?
I think that I have been lucky that I haven't got those kind of people in my life. People are critical, obviously, but that criticism is constructive. They
Yes,
don't criticize me because they want me to feel bad about myself. Sometimes they criticize me because they want the best out of me.
yes.
So I have, yeah. So I have been lucky. I would say that I have been around those people who always constructively criticize and inspire to be my best.
So as you are also working, so I want to know, how did you manage your work schedule plus writing?
So I was on a break the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, because uh, I have not been much into IT recently. I was in my this on break for writing this, so it helped me a lot because working full time and then managing kids, it can be quite cumbersome, and then it can just harness your progress constructively. Yeah.
So anything that was particularly challenging while writing?
I think, like we mentioned, that and for the fiction, it was the first time. So for me, it was difficult to visualize the characters, and especially when you write a book, it is like you have to create a world.
Yes.
Every detail about the characters and every detail about the surroundings, how things look, how people look. So putting that detail into that writing was much challenging.
So, your specific writing style. I want to know more about this.
I think the more I would say that my writing style would be more into kind of story writing. When you read the book, you will not judge the book as like essay or something that okay they are just telling ki what should we do or what should we not do, because people get bored of it. So
Yes.
it is like that I have to write something philosophical, but it should not get boring. So I took help of stories from mythological characters, and I merged many stories and the way the my main protagonist moves on. So it's quite interesting to do that.
So, do you have any kind of suggestions to upcoming writers?
I think I would say that the key is the discipline and dedication, and I think believe in yourself, and uh, uh, if you are unique, if your style is different, be proud of it. Just don't run into that race that this genre is best selling, so I should write in that thing. No, just be yourself, be honest, and be just do your natural writing.
Okay, that's so amazing. And what was your book publishing journey from writing to publishing? How did it went?
This was my first experience. I had never written a book, and I had no idea how the publishing things work. But thankfully, I would say that while writing this book, inspiration came to me. Some energies forcing me to write and pushing me to do. To give my best. So likewise, while I was looking for publishers also, thankfully, I didn't expect the journey to be so smooth, to be very honest. But when I started looking for the publishers, then I came across Astitva publication website, and then some ads, and I found them to be very genuine in compared to other publishers that I wasn't talk with. So without a thought, I just told them, okay, I'll be going with you. I'm going with my instincts, so I'm going with you. And then the sailing has been so smooth. The patience of the team, the way they take your input, they inculcate, and the kind of output they gave, anything from the book cover, from the formatting part, from the editing part, I think they have done a splendid job.
Thank you
And I would
so much, ma'am.
I would like to uh, thank them a lot for this. Matlab, it was very easy journey for me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And what was the hardest thing you faced while writing?
I think the hardest part, it was not always like that. I felt some challenges, but sometimes it was like when a writer's block is happening, and then you don't know, you are at a certain crucial point, and then you don't know what should you write. And then sometimes you write, and then you think, okay, no, that's not going with the flow. Then a lot of rework has to be done. So those cycles were a little bit annoying sometimes, but that was worth the patience.
Yes. So I have this personal question. Do you prefer ebook, paper book, or hardcover?
I think for no ebooks for me.
No.
Like, yes, I'm a conventional orthodox reader. So for one of my favorite books, I prefer hardcover, which I just don't want to read, but I just want them to be with myself always. Their presence means a lot.
Like
Uh,
the in the shelf.
yeah, that the ones should be that ones should be hardcover, but normal day-to-day reading, that is paperback.
Okay. Any kind of your favorite motivational phrase or quote?
I think I am more like ki life is too big for small things. Just move over. If you feel any hurdle, if you feel that you are going through a rough time, then I'm like, okay, just don't worry about that. It will pass. Everything is temporary.
So, do you remember the first book you have read? I want to know what was the first book you read.
I don't know how will you like it or not, but it was the comics, Billu, Pinky, and Nagraj. So those were our first experiences, Champak. So
Very good
that was
memories.
fun that time. You cannot expect a 5 or 6 year old to read a heavy book or so.
Yes.
That was the fun of it. Yeah.
So, any kind of message from the novels to the readers that you want to give?
I would say that this book is unique for every reader. So, whoever is going to read this may take a unique message for himself, because the book contains so many things that a reader can get inspiration from. This book contains Shiv Sutras. This book contains Bhagavad Gita, Buddhism, Sikhism. So this is like a whole of Hinduism and the related religions in the crux in 200 pages. So every individual reader can get something unique from it. But I
Yes.
can assure that it would be a good read for them.
Okay. So, any kind of best advice you received as a writer?
Best advice I get?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, the advice always is to be honest and just not follow the trend. Create your trend, be natural. So, this is the best advice I got.
Okay, ma'am. So, anything that I haven't included or something that I have said, you want to say to your readers?
No, I think you have included almost everything in this quite session. But for readers, I will, as a reader, I will tell them that you should read this book. Even sometimes, what happens with me, I reread my book, and on third or fourth chapter, I am like, okay, what happens next? Then I realize, oh, I have written this, so so it's a good read. They can find for themselves.
Yes, ma'am. It was an amazing date. I have read this book. It was amazingly written. The language is so beautiful, so easy to understand. So I love this book. I'm keeping the copy.
Oh, thank you. I tried to be simple in my writing so that everybody can relate to it. And I think simplicity is the best thing we can do in our lives also.
Okay, ma'am. So if you want to write again your next book, I want to know is that idea has crossed your mind or not?
Ah, yes, I have like parallel ideas going on. One thing is maybe I can think about what next for Ishant.
Yes, ma'am.
The Ishant Joshi has taken a journey and has transformed a lot. Now he has taken a lot from this world. Now what he can give.
Yes.
So one perspective is this, but another perspective is okay. Ishant can wait. I can think of writing something else which is a little bit lighter, and I think that I can maybe something more fictional than this, but everything is very raw.
So we will soon get a. I can hope that you will write a next book and
Yeah,
we will get a new book.
fingers crossed. Yeah,
So it was an amazing interview, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me your time
thank
to
you
for this
so much.
podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much that you have taken this time of your schedule and you have read this book. So I'm loving it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your work was really amazing. I'm now your biggest fan.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay. Bye bye.
you,
Have a
ma'am.
great day.
Have
Yeah.
a great day, ma'am.
Yeah. You too. Bye bye.